everything's about racism these days. Yes?
Yes.
But it's getting less? No, it's getting more.
It's getting more.
Reverse racism. You cannot fight racism with more racism.
No.
You just cannot, because that's what they're trying to do.
I know.
We can only teach our kids. Love is love. Nothing else matters.
Money. That's all that matters is money.
Yeah.
Love doesn't matter.
Money helps too. Oh, speaking of, guess what? Since I've been gambling in the stock market, I also gambled in Arizona.
You got
And I bought a lottery ticket. And this type of lottery ticket is where I got my mom one too for her birthday. I just said, well, which one do you want to play? So I gave her the other one. I bought two. This is where this goes through March 10th, and it plays those same numbers. So you get to do it for a month.
all right.
That's cool. She said that was popular because I still don't know how to go in and do lottery tickets, but they're quick picks.
Sweet.
So maybe we will be lottery winners.
Sounds great.
We'll see. We will see. And what else? Okay, racism. We're going to keep this at 10 minutes. Or 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Because it's easier to upload to YouTube. And people will watch it. They'll be like, oh, I'll take 9 minutes. Or let's do 8. Oh, let's do 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Maybe someone will donate 2.5 more minutes or something. Okay. So, Andy Ngo's book, Unmasked. I'm going to read some of this. In 2020, Portland, my hometown, was in the national and international news for all the wrong reasons again. Dozens of cities had Black Lives Matter inspired protests or riots break out in response to George Floyd's death. But Portland stood out above all in that the violence was maintained for months. Spending time in Chaz in Seattle, I had already seen up close what happened when the city officials make law enforcement retreat from the public. Anarchists and other extremists move in and establish their own rules. And they aren't shy about using violence. In fact, they revel in it. As in Chaz, those who fashioned themselves quote-unquote security for racial justice are often the most violent, cruel, and brutal. On August 29th, 2020, 3 months into the daily violent protest in Portland, a 48-year-old volunteer security person for BLM-Antifa killed a Trump supporter in downtown. Michael Forrest Reinl, I don't know if I said his last name right, shot Aaron, quote-unquote, J. Danielson, 39, using a pistol at near point-blank range after lying in wait for him around a street corner. The shooting was caught on camera from a distance by a live streamer. A person believed to be Reynolds shouted, "We've got a couple right here." 2 shots rang out, and Danielson fell face first to the ground. The shooting occurred in the context of left-wing versus right-wing clashes in Portland. Earlier in the day, hundreds of vehicles gathered in Clackamas County near Portland for a grassroots organized Trump 2020 cruise rally. It was a mass vehicle caravan rally celebrating all that Antifa hate. President Trump, America, and law enforcement. The day was peaceful as drivers made their way out of the mall's parking lot and onto a route that took them in and around the Portland area. but trouble was waiting when they decided to drive into downtown Portland. Drivers displaying the U.S. Trump and Gadsden flags were met by crowds of masked Antifa rioters who came prepared with projectile weapons. Similarly, the drivers and their passengers were ready for confrontation with their own tools and weapons. Antifa rioter hurled eggs and rocks at the caravan participants. They also sprayed cars and passengers with urine from water guns. Some of them tried to stop the vehicles by standing in the road and pushing against the cars. In response, the caravan participants used pepper spray and shot people with paintballs. No one sustained real injuries, and it was another spectacle into the political clashes that have come to define Portland since 2016. By around 8:30 p.m., the caravan vehicles were gone, but some of its participants walked around. Aaron Danielson walked with his friend Chandler Pappas. Both had participated as passengers in the caravan earlier in the day and are affiliated with Patriot Prayer and Portland Area Conservation Group. According to, one more minute. According to the criminal complainant against Reinl, at approximately 8:44 p.m., he was walking ahead of Danielson and Pappas. He looked back at them and reached toward his waistband. Portland Police Detective Rico Beniga wrote in an affidavit. Reinl turns into the garage entry and reaches towards his left front waist area. Reinl conceals himself, waits and watches as Danielson and Pappas continue walking by. Danielson and Pappas do not appear to interact or communicate with anyone and continue southbound on Southwest 3rd Avenue. After Danielson and Pappas walked by, Reinl begins to emerge from garage while still reaching toward the pocket or pouch on his waistband. Subject number 2 looks back toward Reinl. Danielson and Pappas cross westbound across Southwest 3rd Avenue, and Reinl and subjects number 2 follow them. The shooting occurs shortly thereafter and is not captured on the surveillance video. Till next time.